All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's been an insane couple of days, and it's going to continue now for at least another week. We know what's going on here. The rumors have been coming out, and they've been coming out fast and furiously. It's been extremely hard to actually decipher through anything that is potentially true and what isn't true. The reality of the situation is we really don't know exactly what is true. Everybody has kind of their own take on it, but there are a few things that are persisting with these rumors that I would say most people have continued to say, and that is that Xbox is going to be putting their games onto the PlayStation platform, essentially becoming a multi-platform publisher. Now, we don't know how many games. We don't know if it's their entire catalog, if it's only a certain small amount of games. Maybe it's still only Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves. We also have been hearing a lot about Starfield and other Bethesda games like Indiana Jones coming on to the PlayStation 5. We just don't know what is going on here, and we won't know for another week because Phil Spencer finally said something not very satisfying. I think this is very telling that he says this. He says, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned." So does not address any of the rumors, does not address anything that he's obviously seeing online. He knows that everybody kind of knows what is going on here. I feel like if these rumors weren't true, if Xbox wasn't going multi-platform, if they weren't going to be changing up some major things on how they run their business, it would take 5 seconds to just kill these rumors. Because at this point, this isn't, some people say any news is great news for the brand because people are talking about it. Bad news, people are talking about it. This one is not good news. What is happening on social media, the way that people are expressing their frustration of Xbox, towards content creators who talk about Xbox, all of these things is very, very negative for the Xbox brand. It's essentially in these last couple of days and for the rest of this week, going to be a deterioration in the Xbox brand as people keep spinning in circles, speculating what is going to happen. So even waiting a week to me just doesn't really make sense, which tells me that there's going to be major changes and they know that they are going to lose people from Xbox because of the things that they announced. But if this is the way forward for them, the decisions that they have made to go forward, they believe it's going to end up making them more money at the end of the day and end up being better for the Xbox division. So there's just a ton of rumors. There were some more that have popped up over the last day or so, which kind of point again towards what everybody has been talking about. There is this one here on what Jeff Grubb said this on Game Mess Morning podcast. I was actually listening to it live, and when I heard this, I was like kind of blown away that this was another one that was popping up. But he is saying that they're reportedly considering bringing Gears of War over to PlayStation, specifically saying the other one that I've heard that's definitely under consideration, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but it's in talks, is Gears of War. He says Gears of War is being considered for this. And he also says the other thing I can corroborate is a rumor that there will be something at the end of February when they're going to explain this change. That is something that they definitely were talking about. He also mentions after that he thinks that they should move it up. And then later on in the day, Phil Spencer actually came out with that tweet with them talking about how they're going to explain everything next week. Now, I don't know if they've moved up the event because they've seen all of the outrage and all of the people talking online, or if maybe that was their officially planned date. But as of right now, we still don't know what is happening. That's the facts of the matter. A lot of people have said that they have inside information, that they've talked to people, and they can almost confirm a lot of these things. But the reality is we still don't 100% know, and we will not 100% know until next week. So we will have to continue to speculate and talk about the future of Xbox and what this all means. Now, in terms of speculation, I don't think it's all bad news. Like, I'm on the side of, I don't like this. This is bad. This is going to deteriorate the brand, deteriorate the console. As somebody who plays the majority of his time on the Xbox consoles, I'm going to be affected the most as a consumer for Xbox. If you're playing Game Pass on PC, probably have nothing really to worry about. If you're playing Game Pass on the cloud, probably really have nothing to worry about. But if you're on the console, you're most likely going to be affected the most. And I believe that it holds true that the core fans of Xbox are the people that have been on the Xbox console, who have bought the consoles, who have gone through generations, or if they're just jumping into the Xbox Series X and S now and it's their main way to game. Those are the core fans that really prop up the Xbox brand and prop up the Xbox platform. So they're going to be hurt the most, which is very unfortunate because they're the ones that are most loyal to Xbox and where they play. But as I said, it is not all bad news, because randomly at 3:30 p.m. here, Jez Corden tweets out, "I'm not worried anymore. It'll be okay for Xbox ecosystem customers." So take that for what you will, whatever that means. There's so much speculation out there. I've seen speculation online about them changing up Game Pass, them moving away from putting first-party games in there, doing other things to deteriorate Game Pass. And I don't know if that's all doom and gloom or if that is true, but when you read this tweet from Jez Corden, maybe all of that doesn't actually end up coming to fruition. Now, to me, that is going to be the most important thing out of all of this. I feel like they are putting games on PlayStation. I've kind of already settled on that one in my mind. But what is they going to do with Game Pass? If they take away value out of Game Pass, I think that will be an extremely hard sell going forward for people who have been supporting the service and who have been core customers to the Xbox Game Pass subscription. Because if you got to take this into consideration, when you think about Xbox's strategy, when they came out with Game Pass, it sounded really good. And then they went on and they expanded Game Pass. They added first-party games. And they continue to add more first-party games. They continue to add big third-party deals and more value to the service. I don't think anybody in their right mind could have seen this coming, where now all of a sudden they are going to start just cutting things out of it. So that will be surprising, but that could be something that is announced. Again, we will not know until next week, but it is probably the most important thing here that Xbox is going to talk about. How are they going to continue to provide the best value in gaming, Game Pass, and provide the value of their ecosystem to people in Xbox right now and make them want to stay on the platform, make them want to stay, even though it won't be the only ecosystem where you're going to be able to play some of these games. That's what they are going to have to sell to a lot of people. For me personally, if Game Pass stays the way it is, I'm more than likely going to be staying on Xbox and staying in the ecosystem. I don't care that people on PlayStation get to play games that I get to play. Adds nothing to my life, takes away nothing from my life, just gets more people to talk about it. I'm not deeply on the social media console wars or anything, so I don't think I really have to worry too much about always having to defend myself and stuff like that, which I think a lot of people, the reality is on social media, the reason why they don't want PlayStation dudes to get games is because the PlayStation dudes are always going at the Xbox guys. And I get that. It's a rivalry. It's something that people have fun with. It annoys you if you're always seeing dudes always making fun of one side or the other. And if you get involved in that, I totally get why you want to be out on the winning side of it. But for me personally, if they don't change Game Pass, I will most likely stay with an Xbox. So this is going to be a very, very big moment. But if they come out and they make these just value deteriorating changes to Game Pass because they want to make more money, if they come out and say that games first party aren't going to be going into the service going forward, I will definitely consider jumping ship and leaving the platform, because at that point, what is the point? If you can play these games anywhere and there is really no extra value added to Game Pass, then what is the point? That's the question that will have to be answered. So it's going to be a very interesting time. It's going to be a pretty insane week. The question is, can Phil save it right now? Can he save it? And are these decisions going to be good for Xbox going forward? So let me know your thoughts on all of this type of stuff, guys. This is kind of just where we are at, and we will continue to update this story as we go forward. But I will end the video there, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I honestly think one of the most interesting things over the next week, until we figure out what happens, and even after we figure out what happens, is your guys' reaction, the community. What do they think about this? How many people are jumping ship? How many people are staying with Xbox? All of that stuff is going to be super interesting to track. So let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.